Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever in the universe you may be right now. I'm Rockin' Larry Lockin with the What's Your Opinion show, the Larry and Cali podcast, typically. But of course, I have a co-host filling in for Cali, MS.Dee. She was on the other night, as you know. But before we get to that, I want to also give a shout out to Kenny Jackson and the Opinion That Facts Mothership channel, and make sure that you guys check that out on YouTube and check out all our pages on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media sites. Check us out, please, and like us. And we would really appreciate that. And there's more shows to come down the line. We're going to have younger people doing shows, people doing shows about sports, MS.Dee doing her own show. But back to MS.Dee, the reason I'm having her on again is we were talking the other night, and, some subjects were coming up in her mind that she wanted to get off her chest. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll go on air with you if you want to talk about these subjects, and let's, and since a couple more have arisen, we're going to stick to what we originally had planned. And MS.Dee, first of all, welcome. And yeah, I'm going to let you go right into it about Diamond and Silk, and chime in maybe as we go along with that program, because I don't know where to begin to try to dissect that crew. If you want to go there and tell me what you think, because I know you were anxious to.
Well, anxious is not the word, but I have paid a little bit of attention to them, not much. They don't seem to be pretty intellectual, and that's okay. And then they got paid a little bit of money to just sell their souls out and sell out, their children's souls and everybody else's as well, for, like I said, a little bit of money. But here it is. I understand what they were saying before, Donald J. Trump. Oh yeah, and they out there, they did their little minstrel show and everything, step and fetch and all that other stuff that I know about. Maybe they don't even know about it, but that's exactly what they did, and they made a mockery of what African Americans, or should I just say Black people, really are. They made a mockery of it, even though they, sided with him or whatever. I mean, maybe everybody don't remember, but I do. One of the rallies where Donald Trump said, come on out here, do your routine.
Mm-hmm.
What? And they did it though, routine, and they got out there and
and all these saltine crackers are like, wow, cool, 2 Black people we can like. Yeah, I know. It was disgusting.
Well, I can tell you this, Donald Trump knew who to ask to do a routine. He knew not to come not knocking at my door to do a routine for him. First of all, I would have said, how much money do you really have? Let me see the balances and everything. Let me see your taxes. Let me see. They know who they can deal with and who they cannot. So, yeah. They did the right thing to go to Diamond and Silk, or should I just say her and her. I don't even care. I really don't even care. There's nothing about them that I would want. No, I'm not going to buy any of their things. They got mugs and t-shirts. Why would I? Now, yeah, there's a small amount of people, and I do mean small amount of people, that might buy some of their things that they are conjuring up, like a witch's brew, maybe, but
yeah, are they still around? I haven't seen much of them lately.
Well, no, you know what? Donald Trump is in so much of it. What are they going to say? They don't have enough dialogue. Nobody's feeding them dialogue. You know what? Their job is up. They did their job, what they were supposed to do. They got him hopefully got him elected. That's what they were trying to do. They no longer needed.
So the only thing they could really do is try to get a little bit more outlandish till they got crazy and burned themselves out, like Alex Jones or something,
Yeah. It all is kind of cute in a way, how they burn themselves out. I don't know if I'm mad at them or not. The fact is that they sold their soul. They sold their soul. They forgot where they came from. And I know they know all about where they came from. They didn't come from no money or anything like that. I mean, that was obvious, just by looking at them. Not unless somebody didn't tell them,
Do you think there's which leads me on to a question I wanted to ask you. Do you think that they realize that there's a difference between realizing you sold your soul and knowing it, and the fact that you're looking just to capitalize maybe on a scam, and like that's as far as your thought goes? Or do you think they
I'm not sure if they do. And both of them are old enough to know better, but they feed off of each other. That's great. It's nice to have a sister or whatever feeding off of each other, but at the same time, you forgot where you came from and you forgot your history. And that's unfortunate. You forgot it. And you know what? Diamond and Silk, you are not forgiven. You won't be invited to the barbecue. No, period. You cannot come. Don't even think about it. Your tokens are used up.
Yeah, and for what? I mean, that money won't last forever.
They didn't get that much money.
That's true. They really didn't. Donald Trump is cheap.
Look, I could say a lot of things, but I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to. No.
About
it would probably. No, look, y'all, I'm not the most beautiful person in the world, but I got a beautiful spirit. But Diamond and Silk got a nasty, ugly spirit, and who's going to be turned on to that? You might find a few, but it won't be grand. And that's what you're looking for in life, is do things in a grand, phenomenal way. And you missed the mark. I'm sorry. You can't even play on my team, so don't even ask. Whatever team it is, don't even ask. You have nothing to offer my team. So there it is.
It's really unfortunate in the end. And where did it go?
Yeah, because y'all black. It's unfortunate. And then your kids got to look at these tapes, because they're going to be able to look at tapes of you talking like that. And what's her name? Okay, I don't know which one is which. Who's Diamond? Who's Silk?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, I've got one more, but I don't
work past you.
I can't hear that kind of rhetoric.
Do it and then go. Okay. Whichever one that holds the cone. See, even if they gave me a part in the movie, I ain't so desperate that I'll take that part.
Yeah, they look stupid in front of Congress, and that's hard to do, considering the Congress.
They look stupid in front of Roland Martin.
Yeah.
When he asked them about, naming some historically black colleges, they went on a rant, but they couldn't name not even one.
And yeah, they were talking like a circle in a rant, and yet not one. I mean, you know what I mean? They could have gone on forever, for hours, and not given you one, but still in that rant.
And then Diamond and Silk, they can do for a lot of a history lesson and probably a makeover session as well, I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Okay. I mean, if you got X amount of dollars, remember I was talking about, the Kardashians, you got all this money so you can make yourself beautiful. Now you got all this money, so you claim or you think. I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
I know, isn't it puzzling? You wonder if it's almost...
Hold on, Larry. I would like to meet one of them or both. Well, it won't be one. It's going to be both because they need each other to bounce off of each other. But I would like to meet them and ask them the question, what made you, I mean, what made you go there? I can understand. You don't have to say all these perfect things about Barack Obama. Yeah, he's first black president. Okay, yada yada. But that's past tense. But what made you say all these phenomenal things about this man? What did he say? What did he do? I mean, really, is his penis that big? No, of course not. So yeah, that's another story. I probably shouldn't have said that either.
It's puzzling in a way, though. It's really puzzling.
It's puzzling. I want to know.
Yeah. I mean, what was their end game here, really? I mean, honestly.
I don't know, but I do know that it did not get them any closer to the White House than they were.
It didn't get them where they thought it was going to get them when they started peaking a little bit. And so I wonder, I don't know. You talk about the hair, the way their style was and shit. You're right. It seems like they could have gotten.
It has not changed.
Over, but maybe that was part of the gig. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's so puzzling that it's like, I don't know if they were just in it to make a buck real quick and didn't.
I think, and I listened to other people that, first of all, my faves, I listen to people on the internet and everything. My faves don't give Diamond and Silk that much energy because why would we? It is kind of a waste. That's why I don't want to spend any more than 15 minutes on those two suckers.
Yeah, I know.
Suckers. Okay. If I'm going to do something seriously, whatever it is I'm going to do, I'm going to get paid at it. Okay. I don't waste time and I don't waste money or energy or anything like that. Now,
Jason Whitlock, would you like to move on to him yet, or are you done with the?
You know what? I did not get enough information about Jason Whitlock. I do know he's a fat cow.
Okay.
That might be enough to know.
Yeah, I bet he takes the elevator.
I do know he tries to. You know what? He's in there with Fox News. That's the problem right there.
That's all you need to know, really. Whether you're white, fucking Hispanic, it doesn't matter if you're in with Fox News.
He's trying to discredit. I mean, I'm trying to understand this. Yeah,
he's worse than Diamond and Silk, really, because he's been doing this for years, and he's got some resentment from childhood or something. But it doesn't even fucking matter. He's really not. I mean, I don't know. He seems to me like what a traitor. And that's
what? If I was having lonely nights, as he probably is, I'd probably be a little upset too. So I have to gravitate towards something, and that's what he's doing.
What is he even aboard the hate train?
What train is that?
The hate train. Are you talking? How his slamming constantly of predominantly, black athletes that stick up for social issues and do things for the community, and anything like that. Whether it's LeBron James or Kaepernick or got anybody over the years, unless they were white.
He has issues. That are probably embedded within him, so I don't look too far into him really getting it together. What I do know is that I can look at him on the outside and say, okay, you got issues. I can't even see the inside, but I know he has issues, period, inside and outside. Okay. And that is just the way he's probably going to be for the rest of his life. Not unless some sweet young tender lays his soul to rest. Yep, that's what it's going to take to lay his soul to rest and give him something that he's never had before, that he could not even imagine in his wildest dreams. And then it would be all over. That's what I think Jason Whitlock needs. That's what I honestly think he needs. And then shut the hell up.
No, well, I mean, he is the age that he is. I mean, I can't see him changing. It would take a miracle once in a fucking quintillion story of something going on in his family or life to change. I mean, you know what I mean? It would be either what you're saying or it would take, I mean, something that would never happen. So what you're saying, I agree with 100%. Because there's no way. I mean, and plus, I mean, he's already built that resentment against him.
You know what? How much? You know what, Larry? I never really asked you, or maybe I did ask you. How much can I say, and how much do I need to not?
You can say everything. There's no FCC rules governing this.
Okay, well, Larry, look, if somebody rides Jason just the right way, just rides him just the right way, frontwards and backwards, he'll shut the hell up. I'm just telling you like it is.
Yeah.
And then, and he'll calm down. He'll calm down, and all that other stuff will calm down. He got everything all riled up. There's no escape but through a genuine woman that he does not have. But
that's fine if he takes a siesta from TV and gets the fuck out of our lives and shit and poisoning.
Yeah, that would be
mind. If he goes and takes a break and has it done, fine. But
I'm just saying that I think that if he had that, he wouldn't be so apt to discredit Black people as much. He would have at least look. When he's flying,
he just needs a partner to do whatever with or whatever. I don't know.
See, that's your answer. Your answer is like, okay, he needs to let's just wipe the slate clean. But you know what? I personally think, because see, me being a Black woman, I still have love and hope for Black men, and I think that it's a chance. If there's a chance that we can get them back, and I'm saying through some good loving and a good dinner, it's always a possibility. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying that if the right woman does it just right, where he's going to explode and see stars and fireworks and all that other stuff that men see or whatever, and then be able to go to sleep and then wake up and smell the kitchen smelling good and hearing pots and pans, and you got your favorite meal cooking and you can smell the gravy and all that, it can change a man's mind on things.
Did you just say Fox and Friends? Hearing Fox and Friends?
No, I didn't say that. I said it can change a man's mind.
Right. Yeah,
of course.
It could. And I would hope that for him. I have no ill will. He, again, just like he puzzles me by the way.
Okay. Let's forget about Jason Whitlock for a second. Let's just take you. You're the guinea pig. Okay. Now, you frustrated, yada yada. You had a rough day at work and all that. You can't tell me that if you open up the door and your woman's standing there practically naked, nipples is hard, everything's protruding to the front so you can see, smelling good, kitchen smelling good, wine's on chill, okay, and all she wants to do is take your clothes off, sit you on the couch, get you in the corner, get on top of you and start riding you. You're trying to tell me that wouldn't work for you?
Well, it would work for me. I would love it. I don't know that it would turn me into politically any way different that I thought, though, like it would Whitlock. I mean, yeah, I mean, it would make my day a lot better for sure. I hear you on that. Yeah, but I hear you on Whitlock too. Maybe over time somebody could work on him. And
I think this is what I'm trying to say to you. I'm not trying to say we need to work on him. That's not what I'm trying to say. You're right about that. Let's just get rid of them altogether. What I'm saying is that me as a Black woman, I tend not to give up hope. Whereas Black men give up hope on black women. They just say, "Oh well, I'm not dating black women. This is why this, and this." They give up and they go to the other side. Now, even though I don't like Jason Whitlock, you think because of his actions, I'm just going to give up on my own all my black men because he's an idiot?
No.
That's not what I do. He is an idiot, but that does not make me chime out to everybody else. Okay.
It's a very rare speck of an exception of this fucking fragmentation of a percentage of an exception. I mean, that's what puzzles me. He's like 1 in 1,000 or one in several thousand.
Look, all my most adult life, I've had to deal with, black men saying why they don't want to deal with a black woman. They had their reasons. But I understand them. I understand them, but they need to take a look and understand us, why we are the way we are. When my brothers, I have 3 older brothers, and when they would say, okay, well, black women is this and they that, and they want to act like they in control or whatever, we were all raised in the same household. You forget that, So when you was having it rough, don't think for a second that I wasn't having it rough too. I was just having it rough in a different form because I just happened to be a female. But the way you had to fight for whatever you needed, I had to fight for whatever I needed. So now that I become an adult, now I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to say, yeah, okay. No, honey, no. It's not going to work that way. I had to live the exact same rough life that you had to live, and I have to continue to fight. I have to. I cannot let my shield down for somebody else to come in there and take over, because that's exactly what's going to happen. If I let my shield down, somebody's going to come in there and they're going to take it over. But this is not what the topic is supposed to be about today. I'm sorry, you guys. I got kind of caught up.
No, I agree. I was just listening to you. You're totally right on what you're saying. If more people would take that to heart and follow it, they'd have more control over their lives. And it's not always easy, but sometimes you got to think forward and not just like in the moment.
Well, a lot of people don't see it that way. They want to just get like with the tax break. They're getting it and they're happy about it, And look at here.
Cost them in the end.
I care about, I'm out here in sunny San Diego, and people come out here, Larry, from the East Coast and all over, and I used to hear them like on the trolley and stuff saying, I'm coming out here because I heard the weather was really good, and I'm just gonna just live off the streets, live on the streets, and save their whatever checks that they were getting, but because the weather's so good, so you can actually sleep outside. It's fantastic, but we do sometimes have that weather that you don't want to be outside. I promise you.
Yeah.
With the wind just blowing and everything, and I think about those people in those little blue tents, downtown, and they sleeping outside, and the wind. I can hear the wind and feel the wind blowing up against the building where I am. The last place you would want to be is out there, and then it's wet and everything, and I think about stuff like that.
Yeah, sounds like an Oregon winter. We even get them worse.
Yeah. It's not all the time, but it does happen. But we get so many people to come out to, especially San Diego, not San Francisco or LA. It's more here because we're southern and the weather's supposed to be good all the time, which it is. The majority of the time you can survive. But honey, you can't just live off the streets all the time. And and like I said yesterday or the other day, when I walk outside, I have some money in my pocket because I know somebody is going to be out there, Can I borrow this? Do you have? Can you spare? 9 yard, whatever. It is what it is. And then we got people like you said. We started off the whole show with Diamond and Silk out here selling their souls to the devil, because that's who they're selling to the devil.
They really are to make money. You know what I mean?
You know what?
It's funny. I couldn't do that for people. I couldn't bullshit. There's no amount of money. I'd rather be broke and my belly hurting. I couldn't do it. I'm smart enough to create some fake character that was like an Alex Jones or some shit, but I couldn't do that to the people. I couldn't lie to the people one show. I just couldn't do it. I don't know.
Well, Larry, you are soft coding it. It's not that they were just lying. They created a minstrel show that was totally embarrassing. They did more than just it was just downright degrading to Black people. And the other one's like, I mean, where's your vocabulary? Did you not learn anything? Neither one of them had a very large vocabulary, but Donald Trump doesn't either. But, hey.
I know, that's why it almost seemed like it was like a fucking fake put on. I mean, it was like every stereotype that was negative towards African Americans, yet it was supposed to appeal to these redneck white people. I mean, I'm not saying it was, but I mean, if it was a movie, I'd believe it was scripted. It's crazy.
Okay, if you think it was scripted, do you really think they can have a legitimate conversation with?
No, I don't think.
Well, then there you go. It wasn't. Maybe it was scripted, but they fell right into it. Because I don't think either one of them can go up against me on any subject.
No, if you were able to get the platform to be able to, they couldn't. No.
You're right. Anyway.
No, you'd eat them alive. I mean, you'd eat them alive, and you think some of those senators gave it to them. I mean, you'd really, you'd spit them up and chew them out and just expose them real quick for the frauds they are.
Well, just as long as they give me a platform that I can say anything I want to say, because when it comes to them two, I don't want to have to think about cleaning everything up. I just want to let them have it. They have misrepresented Black folks, and I'm saying it like that. You misrepresented Black folks, and I'm talking about not just with your language, your body language, your English, even the way you look. It's like, stop it already. Really?
Yeah, no, they were over the top. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, they meant to be over the top.
No, I mean, they are ridiculous. I could really go there and go into them, but I feel like it's like, okay, I'm white, so it's like yeah, they're fucked up. I mean, they're total sellouts. If you really want my total true opinion about how I feel about the two women, they're fucking sellouts. They're traitors. What the fuck were you doing? You sold your soul, and look what you got out of it. Nothing, but not that matters. Even if you got wealthy out of it, you sold your fucking soul. I mean, and you look stupid. You didn't take the time to fucking do your homework before going and talking to Congress. You didn't fucking sit there and, I mean, at least I know their vocabulary's got to be better than they're faking that it is. And I'm not.
I actually don't think so. I saw them in court, and I was like, these two are not the smartest people. They're not that intellectual at all. At all. They were exactly what their names were. Stump for Trump girls.
You know what? And if they would have really had a senator or a congressman go at them, it would have been a different story. I mean, a couple did, but nobody, if they would have had you on that panel interviewing them and a couple more people, I mean, they would have really been lost like deer in headlights.
First of all, they probably would have called me out for probably my hair or something. I don't know. They probably would have picked something.
Yes.
And then I would have had to shut them down and say, you know what? It is what it is over here. What is your problem? What is your issue? You're the one out here hollering about
trying to deplatform us.
Huh?
I said Facebook's trying to deplatform us and censor us. Oh.
Anyway, Let's move on. I've had enough about Diamond and Silk. They're not even
Me
worth my
too.
time
Me
or
too.
energy, you know, and they will very soon disappear. Okay. They will very soon disappear. I mean, nobody is, I mean, I really don't know. I haven't looked
I
them
know
up.
that's why last time we were talking about, I was thinking, fuck, okay, well, okay, yeah, we can talk about them, but I'm like, I was thinking I hadn't heard anything from them in a while, but yeah, we got them out of the way. They fucked them. I hope they ride off into the sunset and all that.
They're not going to
So,
have any, I mean, they have no other choice because, look, Donald Trump has to ride off into the sunset very, very soon. So they have no other, I mean, what is there left for them to say? Really? After
uh,
all of this, because look, they're not smart enough to get into the Mueller investigation and Omarosa leave. They're
oh,
not smart enough for
anything
all
with
this.
details, yeah, no.
All of this is above their head. It's too much for them to even try to
Well,
figure.
they could call it a witch hunt in a circle for an hour, but that's about it. They couldn't get into any details.
You know what? When I was 2, you could tell me a line to say, and I could say it over and over again too.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
when I was 2, you know, or second grade, or any one of them, you
Yeah,
know. So, you know, but can you give me any substance to what you're talking
there's
about?
the key issue.
You know. So
Yeah, that's it. And I've kind of realized that since I was like 5 with politics and shit. I've seen a lot of these people for who they are and all this shit and stuff like that, and the people that shill for them. But nowadays it's just crazy. And I haven't even got a chance to really, because I had to go out of town earlier today for a little bit, but I didn't catch up on any of the news. Is anything been going on that hit your mind, or I mean, except for the typical bullshit. I know Bob Woodward.
I told you before this.
Oh, you want to get to that? Okay, we do have that.
Feed it to me, and I will bounce off of you now.
Gotcha.
Covered Diamond and Silk.
We did. What do you think about this fucking crazy, this female cop in Texas that shot this guy? And I'm still like, I listen. I gotta be.
Everybody, stop the press, because I'm gonna speak on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna speak on this one. Okay.
You take it.
Hold on. It's all bullshit. I don't care what story that they have derived or what narrative that they're going to try to give you, which they had time to make up a narrative. Okay.
Plenty.
Now, this whole thing took place on a Thursday, and I don't think that they even arrested her or anything until Sunday. Now here we're in Tuesday now, but anyway,
now, you're right.
If it were me, first of all, look, I've been drunk before. I've been a little high before, not off of nothing but weed, but I was still high nonetheless.
Oh,
my
young
days, I was that age, and I was, but look, I could drive my drunk ass, and I do mean drunk, across the highway. I don't know how I made it, but my mind knows how to get there for some reason, because I've done it over and over.
You old bangers knew how to do that.
So I make it to my house, not yours, my house. You know what? Like I said, I've been drunk before. To me, I think it's almost impossible, especially, okay, forget houses. We talk about apartments, because they ain't apartments. There's something on the outside. Your doors may be on this corner, that corner, in the middle. It's something that tells you where you live. I mean, if you can't figure that out, you shouldn't be on the police force. And then that says another thing about who is on the police force. You got idiots like that can't figure out where they live, but you got them out there holding guns, killing folks. Okay, let's scratch that. No, don't scratch it. Keep that in your head, because I'm going to come back to that. Okay, now, she gets off from work, working 14 hours, no biggie. I've done plenty of 14-hour shifts, came home, took a quick wash up and everything, fixed my hair, fixed my makeup, and went down to the club. So I don't even want to hear it. Don't even want to hear it. Okay. 14 hours, she didn't come home. Now, she parks on the... I asked you not to do that. She parks on the wrong level, so she claims. You know, I mean, why am I getting all these interruptions?
You're getting popular, but yeah, no. Tell them to like call back because I want to hear
Yeah, that call back. Yeah.
No.
But it's... Where was I?
Okay, I got your back. The chick, so the chick comes home and is wasted, and she parks on the wrong fucking level to start. Now go from there.
Okay. Yeah, she's on the wrong level, which, you know, I don't know how possible that is. It could be, you know, but she wasn't at work.
I've never been that fucked up personally.
I know. So I'm gonna give just that much leeway on just that because I don't know exactly what area she was at where it was so many apartment complexes that, you know, maybe it could happen. So, but you know what?
I don't think they have them that big out here.
The thing is that, Larry, when you punch the elevator, you got to punch the elevator button to get you to where you're going to. I mean, you know, and then you got to look up and it says 2, 3. I mean, how drunk really are you? See, that's the problem.
What else are you on too? Come on, let's be honest. What else are you on too?
So let's say, okay, she's supposed to get off on what is it? 3. Will you get out of here and leave me alone?
Okay, I'm about to leave, Mama. Call me if you need anything.
Yeah, take your phone.
I got my phone.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, the 14-hour shift excuse kills me because
I'm so sorry. I told her.
No, don't worry. I love it. It's
I don't love it. Will you get out of here?
Yes, may I have $1?
Bye.
Okay.
See, you gonna ask for $1 after you get it?
Well, I was asked. Okay.
You wasn't gonna ask nothing.
I was too.
Will you get out of here? See, America. That's what happens when you have grown ass kids.
Okay.
That kind. Yeah, I heard you. Damn.
Okay, yeah, you gotta love the kids, but let's get back to this crazy white kid back in fucking Dallas.
Yeah, take me back. What was that?
So we're talking about, so we've arrived so far at the point where, okay, a couple things.
Okay, yeah.
On the wrong fucking, apparently she's parked in the wrong area. Parked in the wrong.
No, the wrong, it was levels, like
levels. I get what, yeah. Right, and then she goes and fucking hits the wrong floor in the elevator. I mean, I have been drunk. If I would listen, here's the problem. Can I just say this one thing and I'll let you flow? If I was that fucked up to where I could not tell you or get the right number and then not realize I hadn't got the right number afterward, I'd be passed out. If I was so fucked up that I was...
I know. Larry, you and I both have been that drunk. We both know how that drunk is.
It'd either be that or passed out. I couldn't be drunk enough to be able to go up and fucking do anything if I was so drunk.
But you know what? If I'm that drunk, first of all, if I made it home safe, I'm good. I must have sobered up. By the time I made it home, I'm sober enough to go into the right house. Period. Yeah. I mean, I might walk to the wrong car coming from the bar, or walk to the wrong level coming from the bar. But once I get in the car and I'm driving and everything, no, no.
And say you were even wasted and did hit the wrong number. I mean, it would occur to you really quickly by numbers on shit that you were on the wrong floor, even if you were fucked up.
No. Well, it might happen to you. It don't happen to me when I get in the elevator and everything. You know,
yeah, no doubt. There were so many.
You know, where you going, honey? It's gonna be something like that, and that wakes me right up when you say, "Where you going, honey?" Okay. I'm going up to 3. Well, but first of all, you don't even have to say that. I just know it's certain things that are embedded. that
I'm just working as a detective, putting holes in every step of her story.
Yeah, okay. Well, you could
Step of her
whole.
story.
Yeah, okay.
Even if you wanted to make sure she was drunk, hit the wrong number.
You
She
continue.
should have known. She should have known. The bitch should have known. Even if she got up on the wrong floor, the bitch should have known at that point. So she's lying. She's a fucking murderer. She's got no fucking story.
Okay, wait, hold on. Before she even gets there to the door, all right, she's going to the wrong floor. Now, she's First of all, she was driving. She had to been driving intoxicated then. So they need to get her on that shit too. Start off with the beginning. Where if you couldn't remember where you're going, you had to been driving intoxicated. So we need to charge you for that. Let's keep it real for the American people. Because they would have did it to me. If it was me, they would have got me on every account they could. Okay, so. Here we go. Now you're intoxicated. Okay. Now you get someplace. How she got in is going to be a mystery because he's not here to tell us. Okay. But we have other people in the area, on the same floor said that they heard her saying, "Let me in." Now, I don't know how much I should say. Me personally,
you make me paranoid because I start thinking of fucking conspiracy theories, like somebody wanted this gentleman fucker like that, a gentleman dead. I mean, this is just weird. The whole thing's weird.
No, what I really think is that she was having sex with him and he cut it off. That's what I really think that he don't even try that one.
That's why I need MS.Dee on this show to fucking
okay. What?
To put those final puzzle pieces together because I would have gone one way or the other. I'm like, somebody was out to get him.
I think she knew him because it was easy for her to get in. See, she jiggled the key, so she said, or whatever.
And her mind took her there. Yeah. I
think that she had slept with him before, whether he was a minister or not, because ministers get down too. I know lots of them personally, so I know. That's right. Anyway, that's what I think. I think that he was probably trying to break it off so he can do his own thing. He was only 26 years old, so I know how 26-year-old men are. They're out there, and she looked tired anyway, so I wouldn't waste that much time with her ass anyways. But I think it was something like that. She was upset and she knew she could do what she did. So it is what it is.
That makes the most perfect sense that I've heard on any subject in years. And I'm going to state this on the record. You tied something together that will probably never be tied together, but it's the truth.
Oh, it'll be tied together if they thinking, but they, unfortunately, they want to try to clean it up too much. Right. It is what it is. I think they knew each other because I just don't see it. Like I said, I lived that life before, being tipsy and drunk and all
fucked up on a little pot and weed.
Exactly.
You would have never
walking into somebody else's house and pulling out a gun like that. It's like, I walk in somebody else's apartment, drunk. What do you say? As a girl, you say, oops, or whatever, your titty fall out or something. I don't know, anything crazy like that. But it doesn't get to that point, where you just all of a sudden, oh, okay, now I'm being intruded. You done walked in and no, you know what? And I'm gonna tell you another thing.
When we need more women like you to be detectives in our future of this country as we go.
Absolutely. Another thing, soon as I first of all, turning the key. It's a gesture right there. You turn that key, but when I open up the door, I know how my house smells. Just the moment I open up the door, before I get it open good, I know how it smells. I know what's right here on the side. I don't care how dark it is. Okay? It has to be damn pitch black where I can, but no. But when I open up the door, what's right to your left and right to your side. I mean, how do you think Stevie Wonder got away with being blind all this time? He knows exactly where everything is. So do I. You know,
well, yeah, it'd be one argument to make that was lame if she was making the excuse and she was on the other side of the door. But who in the fuck would do that ever and then open a door and even if you thought it was your own house, start pop pop? I mean,
what they ought to do, Larry, is figure out how her door opens and how his door opens. Not every door opens to the left or to the right. I mean, some doors open opposite.
yeah,
So
it's about the key groovy.
and then you figure out what's on the left and the right of the door. What's on that side of her place? Is it a plant? I mean, it's certain things that will dictate if it's your apartment. You know. I mean, you know what you're walking into. I mean, I don't know how many times when I'm out and about, when I was out and about today, I said to my daughter, I said, you know, I can't wait to get home.
You're starting to make it sound to me and tell me if I'm wrong. This sounds premeditated.
I think she was upset with him about something. He cut off the penis, you know, attention, because that's all it takes. And that's why I have such an issue with black men and white women. One way or the other, they're going to get you. Either they're going to say you raped them or something, but they'll get you one way or the other. But y'all, I'm sorry, y'all black men, y'all keep falling right down into the trap. And there's nothing I can do about that except watch.
I've tried to stay silent about this, but look, when I was younger, you know what? I had a lot of African American friends, but I did, and the few of them that got hooked up with these white girls, I'm telling you, it was nothing but fucking trouble. It could have been I chalked it up to that we were young at the time, but man, dude, it was trouble for them. I mean, on a lot of ways. You know, saying shit, pulling shit, getting them arrested, playing head games with them. I mean, it was scary to watch from a secondary standpoint. This ain't no bullshit. I mean, this is a white guy telling you.
I believe you.
I mean, I'm not trying to stereotype or say that that's all true, but I mean, I've seen it.
Most of it is true.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was raised with, you know, my three older brothers, and we went through a lot of trying times, and you know, but it made me a better person. I can say that. But as far as who we're talking about, we already talked about Diamond Silk, and now we're talking about, you know, this woman who, with her white privilege, may get off to only manslaughter when I know better. I know better.
Yeah, she's gonna do some time, but it ain't gonna be nothing. It'll be easy in a few years. But
no, she's not gonna be. No, she's not gonna. No, she's not doing time right now for the simple fact that. Hold on, for the simple fact that this murder was committed on Thursday. She went home. She had breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all that for the whole weekend. Then on Sunday, because of the outpour, now they're going to take her into custody, and now they're talking about simple, I call it simple manslaughter. I mean, that's almost like a win when it's manslaughter. I mean, look here. She killed him. My life is gone.
Cold blood murder. I'm going to go you one better. I would say that even though probably it was, like you said, she was pissed off and just wanted to fucking was cut off from that dick and wanted it. I'm going to go ahead and I would go harder and say premeditated murder.
She was mad, and one of the other neighbors said that she was saying, you know, let me in, you know. I mean, that's what you get when you get involved with these people. You know, you want them that bad or whatever. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think that the twat is all that good. That's
oh, really?
I just don't think so.
Well, I grew up listening to Two Live Crew and NWA.
And I want to elaborate on
And
that.
now I know about how these white women, I guess, can get really sprung for that fucking dick then. Because what a crazy fucking, yeah, dude, totally. What a liar. And she knew, being a cop, but dude, she's gonna go. I mean, if we didn't have.
Well, look, they've already shown it. They've already shown it that cops have gotten. So she figured that, I'm a cop. I can get off, and that's what she thought, and that's exactly what she thought she was going to do, was get off. She figured it because that's a narrative that they pushed out there. Hey, I mean, because look, white people have been killing black people for eons. Okay, and just because we in these times didn't change anything, you're still doing it, and here we are. And she figured, okay, well, Zimmerman and everybody, it's a long list of people who I know.
You're right.
So sorry. Look, listen to me. I used to work with only white people. I was the only black person. So don't think I wasn't sitting there paying attention. I was listening. They tried to
the cluelessness of white America.
Mm-hmm. I was listening, and I'm talking about at least 25 years of listening, maybe even more. Just paying attention and just listening. Okay, about what they're saying, what they're talking about, how they really feel about black people.
I bet you came to the same conclusion you already knew, that we're a bunch of fucking ignorant racists that are like in our own.
No, it wasn't that. It's that, you know what?
It's true though.
And I'm being on the nice side of things.
I know I'm being on the real though.
I know you are. I'm just saying that a lot of them just didn't know any better. I mean, they only heard it from their grandparents or great grandparents. They had never, when I started working in the work cycle, they had never worked with an African American girl. They didn't know what to expect. All they knew is that I was black and all the other stuff that they had heard. I had to prove them differently or wrong. So that was what my job was. So my job was tough. But
what makes me pissed off is that I've heard that from every white person that I've ever known in my life. Yet I've known since I was a little boy that this shit is all fucked up about not knowing any better. So I feel like either I'm crazy and I just knew better or whatever, but I've heard that from so many white people. When I make this argument, like, what the fuck was wrong with you people in your generation and what you're still doing? No, well, they didn't know any better. Fuck that, not knowing any better. I know that. I hear you. They don't. And you're right. You're right what you're saying. And it's frustrating because I had to grow up around a world of people like that. And I'm like, how in the fuck, what? Aren't you seeing what I'm seeing? I mean, don't you feel what I mean? What the fuck is your issue?
The thing is that, Larry, when I was coming up, the people who I worked around, they had not seen anything. I was the closest thing to, what
okay, listen, yeah, I know. My grandfather was.
I was the first thing they saw.
Fell in love with.
But I can tell you this. Sorry about it, white people. They fell in love with me because I was that girl to fall in love with, because I could balance myself between being who I was, and I can understand who they are and how they wanted to try to understand who I was. They wanted to try to figure it out. And I had one girl, her name is Jackie something, I can't remember last name. She's like, she came and she's like, Deidre, teach me some of that black lingo. I'm like, what black lingo? What are you talking about? She just wanted some cliches or something like that. And that's where we were in that area, trying to figure out who we were, because we were all still young and still trying to grow up and figure it out. I knew who I was, but some of these white girls, I remember them so vividly. I remember one white girl. She, I got so many stories, but we don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm just going to touch base. I mean, because look. You know what, Larry?
What are the wise, my black brothers?
Tell you, these white girls, told me their innermost secrets, things that they probably didn't tell their parents, but they felt that since I was a black girl, that oh, I can share with her. Now it was one girl. I'm not going to tell her name, but
was she a drama queen?
Yes, she was. She was a drama
That's what I'm telling you. I mean, I'm saying I'm all for it. I'm wanting to warn everybody out there.
Yes, the drama queens, but it's because of the parents that makes them like that, especially when it's an only child. But this particular girl, she came to work and she was all upset that her parents bought her a car. She was upset, people. Her parents bought her a car. She was upset because it wasn't a brand spanking new car.
Yeah, that's typical.
Old, and we were only young. We were so young, you know. It's like, how dare you? And then she went to this fiasco about her school clothes. She has to have brand new spring clothes, brand new summer clothes, brand new winter clothes. You know, you get rid of that stuff and you start all over again. I'm like, look, I got maybe 2 outfits for the whole damn year. You need to stop it already. So I went over that with her. But I loved her because she was genuine. Now, this was the catcher. Got on this thing about catching STDs. And I was a big stickler about that. You have to be very careful.
Really?
And of course, yeah, really. And she was telling, look, I was a little bit older than she was, and she was telling me.
Would you think ill of me if I told the girl I had a condom on but slipped it on before I put it in?
Can I finish the story first, Larry?
No, go ahead, hon. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and you can tell me that later. Anyway, this girl, she was like, I was telling her about catching things. You know, you can't just be just with everybody. She's like, well, I didn't have sex with him. I just gave him head. I was like, oh, okay. And you think you can't catch nothing from that?
Quicker way to an STD.
Thank you. But you know what? She was still a young adult. I was maybe about 22 at the most, and she may have been 19. But still, you're a white girl. You're supposed to know everything. Really? Come on now. But she's like, what? You can catch something from that? Yes, you can. So stop it already. That's just one tiny little story. Look, I got stories galore. That's why when we open up the call thing, which we're going to do eventually,
we're going to get that at the start of the month. I'm going to have somebody here that can hook that up, and we're going to get a call thing going. But and you wonder why these white girls in the South have so much of a fucking problem. Okay, yeah.
So there. Finish telling your story. You said you told somebody you had on a condom. And
oh yeah, you know what? I've probably been with like 5 people since, and I'm 43 since I was like 20. But like when I was 14 to 20, I used to run a lot of drugs and shit, and I also fucking like had sex with probably like, I don't know, 100 different, or close to 100 different girls. And like, yeah, I mean, I would do that because I always had trouble down there a little bit because of the issue I have, and so like I would. Couple times I'd slip off the condom and tell them I wasn't using it and that I was sterile and some shit because I thought the doctor thought I was sterile. I got jumped when I was 14.
Another thing, America. Okay, listen. There's no man that can slip off a condom, not with me, and say, oh, no. I know the difference between a condom and the real flesh. The texture is different, you know. The sensation.
I was 14.
Yeah, you wasn't with a real woman either. It was with another kid that didn't know no better. That's what it was.
No, exactly. She was 13.
I just said you was with another kid that didn't know any better.
You're right, hon. You're right. Exactly.
How old did you say she was?
13 and I was 14.
A baby.
Yeah.
And not so we don't get off the subject of the young man that was killed. He was also a baby. I'm sorry.
Can I mention? I would like to give him a shout out if I could, or just to mention.
He was also a baby.
The gentleman, he a total baby. He was only 26 years old, I believe, and he was only 26 years old. His name was Botham Jean, Botham Jean. It may mean Jean. He might have been French. I'm not sure.
I mean, there was a little language barrier there, so I think he was French.
Yeah, Botham Jean. Yeah, had his name. But he was listen to this. This chick was released. You know, he was 26 years old. And of course his fucking cop was 30, and she was released on 300,000 bond, but that's really like 30,000. The union, you know, the officer's blood was drawn to be tested for drugs. They haven't released, okay, she was tested for drugs at the scene, for alcohol and drugs. Now the scene, what's the scene? Now they didn't fucking come and arrest her for 4 days. Investigators haven't released the results of those tests. Why? Did they come and arrest her because they found some dope in her system and some booze and other things, and then they're waiting to talk to the union? See, this ain't cool, because if this were the other way around, we'd already know everything about the dude's history and all this shit. This is just fucked up. I mean, why haven't they released those results yet? If they arrested her, did they find something in the results of that blood? I mean, it doesn't take long to run a tox report anymore.
Well, Larry, they're not going to give us anything legitimate because it will ruin the narrative. I already know that.
They'll give us just what they have to.
I don't trust the system. I mean, you know, seriously, like I said, I've been arrested before, years ago, many years ago. But you know what? The cops kind of liked me a little bit, you know, the little girl or whatever. No, they didn't even do the breathalyzer or anything until hours after they already had me in custody, which meant that I was going to blow a lot less, you know, which got me better off, you know. This particular woman, like I said, all this went really, like I said, if she was intoxicated, start there. Just start there.
Yeah, well, I apologize, Misty. What an idiot I am. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah. Well, a breathalyzer would have ruled out alcohol right away, or ruled it in. Okay, for one.
There. And it should have started that night.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're trying to say now that they haven't released the results of blood and alcohol tests taken at the scene. Does that mean now? I don't even know if at the scene means 4 days later that day. Fuck. This is crazy.
No, it's not necessarily crazy. It is America. Remember? America.
I know, but this is like
all this time. Yeah, all of a sudden in 2018, somebody gonna say, "Okay, well, this don't seem quite right."
No, I know none of these stories seem quite right. This is like a fucking crazy story on a million levels. It's like they're bumbling to cover up like idiots.
You know what? What I really am anxious to see is how it really plays out. I want to. First of all, look, I don't buy any of this cover up. None of it. I bought a lot of shit in my life, lots of it. But I'm not buying this bullshit. Not for a second.
Okay.
Not the way she looks. No. I think that she was fucking him, and he decided not to eat her pussy one night, and that was it. He had another girl over, or something like that. You know, I'm just keeping it real.
You would be a great detective, and I totally agree with you on all those points. Give me the odds, though. Like, humor me. What do you think the chances are? What do you think the chances are that they're gonna fucking have anything on her toxicology report? You think they're going to show any drugs or booze in her system?
I'm on my way right now. Sorry, Larry.
Yeah, it's okay, hon. I was asking you. Yeah, great thought. I agree with everything you're saying on her. What do you think the odds are they're going to come out with any fucking? What do you think the toxicology thing? Would it shock you if it said she was sober?
First of all, who's being bought off? You know, I'm not, and you're not, and well, I know I'm not. That's what I know.
I'm not either. I wouldn't be here right now.
Okay. But we don't know who's being bought off, how much money, because all this whole fiasco is nothing more than Nino Brown taking over the whole damn place. You know.
Well, I wouldn't give it that much credit.
One of them godfathers or whatever just owning it and got people doing what they want them to do, regardless of whether or not they want to do it.
Trump, yeah.
That's what the whole thing is. It starts with the top. You know, I had a brother who always said, it starts with the head of the snake. And the rest of the snakes is just out there flowing around. But the head of the snake is what controls everything else. That's giving out the orders of what to do, and how to do it or whatever, So, and if people want to say, okay, well, racism has nothing to do with it, you just race baiting or whatever, you know what? Please come to my neighborhood. No, don't come to my neighborhood. Just, call me on the cellular phone, because I know that if you think I'm telling you come to my neighborhood, I'm trying to set you up. No, that's not the case.
How about you just fuck off and die? But I know MS.Dee's nicer than that.
What?
I was going to give them the advice to just go fuck off and die, but I know that.
Well, no, I got a better advice for them, but it's too gross for me even me to say it.
Well, you're not bound under any FCC.
Okay, well, if you have any issues, go suck a bowl of dicks. Do that.
Okay. Yeah, that.
Not one, not two, but suck a bowl of them. All of them. At the same time. I really don't give a shit. Because I'm tired of this shit. Really, I am. All we want is to be living in America as Americans with everybody else. Everybody, all of us. But no, of course not. We know some people wake up in the morning and everything, and they can wake up to a different kind of day than I wake up to, even though I wake up to a very glorious day, because there's nothing you can do that's going to get me down anyway. But it's different. My daughter just left, but I got to tell her, I got to give her the rules and the regulations. Don't hang out with this person. Don't hang out with that person. Don't look like you're doing this. Don't look like you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be over here. Don't be over there. Don't stay out too late. I'm out the whole 9 yards. And she's 26 years old. Yeah, I got to do that. I hear sirens and everything. I think it could be my kid or whatever, And all y'all white people going, no, it's all of this is unacceptable. And for a white person, which I probably done party with some of these white men anyway in a club or something like that, and then you out here killing folks, really? And then you want to hang out with me and sit at my table and buy drinks with your wife's money? Shouldn't have said that either.
Yeah, it's real truth, though.
It is what it is. Anyway, we're going to shoot past the young man that got killed. It's unfortunate, and hopefully he and his family, his mother especially, because I cannot imagine finding out that one of my children was shot down they weren't sick. They weren't committing any kind of crime. They were just shot down. You know what? You wouldn't keep me out of the news, out of the media. I would make sure that somebody paid for that. Period.
Goddamn right.
Period. There won't be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I only have 3 children. That's not a lot, but that's not the point. The point is that a life is gone. You can't get it back. It's not like, there's a car accident.
Yeah, and for what, dude? He was just chilling and opened the door.
Because of your mistake. And I don't even want to call it a mistake anymore. That's too easy. People make mistakes all the time. Okay, that wasn't a mistake.
It goes back to the top, though, too. She felt somewhat subconsciously emboldened to do this because of the current fucking nature and regime that we're under right now, and it's going to take a new one to put we need to get a good DOJ and under a good president that's going to go and
well, they're already reacting to it. First of all, they didn't do anything to her, let's go over the detail. They didn't do anything to her until days after. This was on Thursday. She didn't get arrested or whatever, or taken into, not arrested. Let's say taken into custody, because they really didn't arrest her. Taken into custody until Sunday. Okay. Now, and then the thinking about charging her with manslaughter, which is one of the weakest things. I mean, you can get a lot less time. A lot less time. If any time at all. Okay, from that. I mean, you have to take all these things into consideration. He's black, she's white. So they're gonna ease up. They're gonna say, okay, now we can play affirmative action a little bit. She's a woman. Now we're gonna play the fact that she's white. And she had to have felt terrified in his apartment when she shouldn't have been there. I mean, really,
that'll get lost in the shuffle. The whole reason why the fuck she was even there, how the fuck she got there, what she was on.
I told you. I don't think she was that high on mushrooms or anything like that.
No, psychedelics. I don't
think she was high on weed. I don't think she was that drunk. She made it up the elevator. Okay. You have to push a button, and those buttons light up pretty big, and then the buttons also highlight at the top. 3, 2, wherever you going. I mean, even if you're drunk, you will wake up to those buttons.
That's a good point. So she was just
you got to walk down the hall to your apartment. Now look, you know how far you got to walk to your apartment. You know what letter is on the outside of your apartment.
Yeah, if you're not in a coma, you do. Yes.
No. Yeah, if you're not in a coma, yeah. So I will challenge this whole thing all the way. And if it was my child, I'd take it all the way to the Supreme.
You think it looks worse for her if there's no drugs or alcohol in her tox report?
It looks worse for her if it's going to look bad for her either way.
Right.
Either way, because this is somebody where political people have said, well, they go for the police officers rather than the suspects. That's their go-to. I mean, because they think, oh, well, the police officers, they're sworn to do this and that and other. So that's who we look for, Nonetheless, how can I put this? What's her name again?
Amber Geiger.
Amber, darling, you knew what you was doing. You knew what you were doing. If you want to plead the fifth and say you didn't know you were doing it, you were out of your mind completely, then that tells us something else that we need to look into, which is police brutality altogether. Because if she was completely out of her mind at that point, what other police officer may have been completely out of their mind. What's really going on? I mean, you just hiring anybody?
Yeah, it speaks to the fucking hiring practices we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've had her on the force and she's never done anything wrong, but you know, maybe it's something going on with the police that we really need to take a deeper, closer look at. That the fact that okay, she went crazy. Let's say she done worked so many hours now. Now she done flipped out and she's done gone crazy and she can't even figure out what floor she stays on. What's to say the other police officers are not flipping out? And that's why they pulling out their guns so quickly and readily to shoot. You know, let's keep it all real. But see, you know what? I know that's not going to happen. They're not going to keep it all real. They're going to try to spin it and cover it up. And I'm just waiting on it to just flash. What you going to say? They're going to spin it and cover it up. Didn't they mean to? It was an accident. She thought I don't give a damn what she thought. Think better is what I got to say about that. I don't care what you thought. Start thinking. Use your head. Use your brain. Okay? She thought. You know what my parents would do to me if I said some bullshit like that? Mama, I thought it was my popsicle. I probably would have been smacked upside the head.
Yeah, they're probably her union reps. They're probably waiting. They're probably waiting to formulate what would be the best defense. Whether they should fucking use a say that she was on something by the doctor. I could almost see that.
I can't wait. I can't wait, Larry.
Yeah, I can't either. It's going to be interesting to see, hon.
I'm so stimulated that I can't wait. I can't wait.
Okay. Well, listen, it's been a great show. Do you have anything else you wanted to touch on real quick or anything like that before we wrap? There's a lot going on, I know, but you know.
Yes. I don't know, Larry. If you
Kenny said, "What's up? I'm watching the show. I'm going to do a show later."
You are?
No, Kenny did. Kenny just typed into our thing, or he has.
Oh, yeah? He gonna do a show later. Oh, well,
he is.
I know. Did we give him some inspiration on doing a show later?
He said, "I'm watching the show, like it." I said, "Kenny," and he said, "I'm going live tonight." And I said, "Okay." He just said he was watching the show and he liked it.
Is it? I don't know, Larry. I'm just I done closed out a couple of my customers because I didn't want to be disturbed.
Right.
We did cover a lot of ground.
But there's always more.
The only other thing that I was going to touch base on, which this is going to be on a young person's view, and you probably ain't going to even get this, is this Nicki Minaj and Cardi B thing, and they need to just stop it already. It is not about that, young ladies. It is not about fighting each other and who scraps the best. That is old school, and stop it already. Just go out there and do what you do and leave it at that. This is just me letting them know that.
Yeah, there's room for both of them.
I mean, for both of them. They out there, they both cute. They both got all this enhancement and everything going on, but
yeah, they're lucky. They're lucky they're not in an era where there were about 10 others like them that were as good.
Oh, they would have a cow. They would have a cow.
I mean, they wouldn't have. They would have been fucked. Exactly. So they ought to just get over it and be lucky that they're not in an era where there were 15 to 20 others better or as good.
Well, listen, Larry, did we cover everything that you wanted to cover?
We did. We covered. Well, we covered what we covered what we talked about last night. We covered Diamond and Silk, Whitlock a bit. We covered this murder that I just first heard about overnight last night. I think we're good. And I've got company. It's hard to quit barking. Okay, everybody, much love, and we're off the air.